Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Music Madness. This is our final episode that we're going to be doing on our favorite hymns. We've been going through our hymns these last few weeks, trying to talk about and decide what our favorite hymn is, and we've had some heated discussions along the way, and some people have got them wrong a time or two. But here we are. We are headed towards the Elite Eight, talking about our favorite hymns. We did this because we need something to do. COVID was here and you can't do a whole lot of stuff. Hope that you've had a chance to watch them. If you've missed previous episodes, you can go back and watch them. And you can talk about your favorite songs. That's kind of what we were hoping to do, is just generate people talking about their favorite hymns and why they love them. So here we are in the Elite Eight, and it's so hard. This is tough, but we're going to give it a try.
The reason it's hard is because
I quit.
The reason it's hard is because right now they've ruined the entire thing. So I don't know what to do anymore.
What are you talking about? You still have some favorites in there. So, and Jeanette, I don't even know if she'll survive this because it's
Right. Halfway
tough.
through, there could be like a heart attack over here.
She may just fall off and disappear out of this.
Throw things down and quit.
So, okay, let's see if we can get this going. And I think the first one we have here may be the one that does Jeanette in, because this is two of her favorite songs. Amazing Grace coming head to head with It Is Well With My Soul. Two very beloved hymns, hard to choose.
All right, before this, you should teach us CPR, so just in case something bad happens.
Just staying alive.
Yeah, okay.
Just staying
right.
alive.
That's the wrong song, but
I'd die for sure.
Yeah, probably.
okay. So two wonderful classic songs that have been around for so long and touched so many people. We obviously love them and wouldn't have made it this far if we didn't. So, how do we choose? What do we choose? Any thoughts?
I think you should go first.
This is where I quit.
The more miserable, the better they'll like it.
So, Jeanette,
I go last.
What are you're gonna go last?
I'm gonna
on
go
this one?
last.
Okay. Boy, both of these songs are great. So much meaning. So just tugging on the heartstrings. You're gonna hear these songs at funerals, but they're not just funeral songs. They're for songs that are joyous occasions as well. They're just for the everyday life of living as a Christian. I suppose I'm going to pick Amazing Grace. I just love that song, especially if there's bagpipes. If you got bagpipes in that song, that just kind of puts it over the top. I love the other song too, but probably liked Amazing Grace longer, so that's what I'm picking. Ethan, she wants to go last, so...
For me, I was kind of just debating, and then you brought up the bagpipes, and I was like, oh, yeah, right. Amazing Grace for me.
Amazing Grace. And Jeanette?
I can't go against It As Well With My Soul, but I feel like I'm a sinner going against Amazing Grace.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, they're both great songs. I don't know how you can
It
go
Is Well
wrong.
With My Soul, even though I'm an odd duck.
You've
Wow.
been, you've been
That's
saying
my favorite.
Amazing Grace. It shouldn't even be in this
Right,
bracket.
it shouldn't.
So
It
how can
shouldn't.
something beat it if it shouldn't be in? Ooh, we stumped her. I think she finally realizes what we're doing here.
I understand! Finally! Because this was one too that there was
It's
three
true.
that was just
But it wasn't your top
throw
one. So
out.
is that, you can stick with it? Is that it?
Oh,
Are we doing 2 and 1?
well, it doesn't really matter.
Not really.
Well, just
But
for posterity's sake.
No, I'm sticking with it as well because it is my life song.
All right. Well, as you can see, this may take a while because we just got through one.
we got through one, and we're like 4 minutes in.
All right, so here we go. 2 great songs, upbeat songs, joyous songs. When We All Get to Heaven. Of course, a great song about that day when we're in heaven, and what a friend we have in Jesus, which is what it's all about, having a relationship with Christ. I went first last time. I don't know what I'm going to vote this time, so someone else go first.
I know pretty much what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to go with When We All Get to Heaven. Like, the first time I heard that song, I was like, wow, that's so cool. I hadn't, heard a song that's like, when we all get to heaven, it's going to be a party.
Mm.
And that's kind of what I like to think of it as now.
Very good. Very good.
Do you have any coins in your room?
Nope.
That's down to a coin flip.
Like all of these are just gonna be coin flips now.
Oh, I've always liked When We All Get to Heaven because of the whole party aspect, which I'm not sure why you like the party. Are you going to party alone or? What a Friend We Have in Jesus. That's kind of when my relationship with Jesus changed from Savior to friend, and I like that song. Have you decided yet?
Maybe.
Usually the person who's talking is gonna
Is
vote.
going to be the one giving.
When We All Get to Heaven.
Okay, I was actually going to pick that one too, and it was really struggling because I love What a Friend We Have in
Yes.
Jesus. That's one of my favorites, but as Ethan said, just the joy of When We All Get to Heaven is tough to beat. Speaking of joyous songs, this is the next bracket of the Elite Eight. We have All Fly Away coming up against I Saw the Light. And you should really actually listen to these songs just back to back. And they're just so good. And songs to listen to in the morning to get your day going. Both great songs. And I'm not sure how we're going to choose this. I went first and then you went first. So
And
that
that's your-
leaves...
I can go first because I like both of them. About the same. But the reason why I'm going to pick All Fly Away is because it, for some reason, reminds me of my uncle. I don't know if this was one of his favorite songs, but it reminds me of him, and then it also reminds me of a time when we were in Kansas City at a youth event, and I was driving, and all the kids started singing.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nice. All right. Ethan, you want me to go? Or-
Yep.
This is tough, and this is one of those ones where different day probably pick differently. I really like I Saw the Light because, just what it talks about. I saw the light, no more darkness, no more night, brand new life. That's what it's like, conversion. But I think I'm going to go with All Fly Away. What tips it over for me is just my mom shared recently with me that when my grandfather was passing away, that very night he sat up and just was alert when All Fly Away came on the TV. It just meant something to him. So that's my pick.
If you didn't have known that, would you have picked I Saw the Light?
It's possible. I'm not sure. Like I said, it could change tomorrow. I do a different one.
I'll do All Fly Away too.
All right. We had
Like that
3
one.
there. Great songs, though. All right, is this our last one? I think this is the last one of the Elite Eight. And 2 wonderful songs that I love so much. Because He Lives versus Nothing But the Blood. And I know what I'm voting on this one.
I do too.
I can go first. I think this one we may all go the same way.
I do this every time.
Because He Lives is a song that I just think is... It's kind of like one of Jeanette's songs. It's so high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what can beat it. We're going to find that out, I think. Maybe it's Nothing But the Blood, but that's my pick. Because He Lives.
Because He Lives.
Yeah, because
That's my I don't know. I have 3 favorite songs, and
Are they all still here?
no,
No, one just fell
one
this
just
round.
fell off.
All right, so that takes us through the Elite Eight. We are now into the Final Four, and we're going to just keep going. You don't have to wait. So our Final Four, let me give them to you. The first bracket's going to be Amazing Grace versus When We All Get to Heaven. And the next one is going to be All Fly Away versus Because He Lives. But before we get into the Final Four, I'm going to let you know about Johanna. Our daughter, Ethan's sister Johanna, is also a big music lover, and she went through all of the songs and picked her favorites, and I thought we would share with you guys her favorites. And what I'm so thrilled about is Johanna's 11, and she still knew these songs, and she still likes these songs. She has an opinion on these songs, and I think that's awesome. There are tons of great new songs, and we'll probably go through some of our favorite new songs as well. But the hymns have such powerful meaning, and I'm glad that the next generation knows them. So Johanna's Final Four. Number 4, Jesus Is Coming Again, which is one that we really enjoy also. Blessed Assurance, Jesus Is Mine. I was told by someone here recently that should have gone farther than we had it. And then number 2 for Johanna was I Come to the Garden Alone. So she agrees with Jeanette. Jeanette wanted that one to go farther.
We'll both go to the garden alone.
You won't be alone then. And then number 1 for Johanna was still in ours, All Fly Away. was her favorite. So Johanna liked doing this, so we thought we would share that with everybody. Now, let's do the final four, and then we're going to do our regrets. If there's one song out there that we think should have made it farther. So let's do the final four. Here we go. Are you ready? Amazing Grace versus When We All Get to Heaven. What do we think?
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace still for
You
Jeanette?
convinced me last time that that nothing can beat it if I was supposed to throw it out.
You didn't even vote for it last time. But yes, if it's one of your three, it should be what you vote for
Talk
now.
about any other day I might like switch. Every other 3 minutes I'll probably switch.
It is well with my soul is my life mantra.
So that's...
I don't know what that means.
Theme for life.
My theme. The song that describes your life.
Okay. Do you have a pick, Ethan?
When We All Get to Heaven.
Ooh. It's a split.
Tiebreaker.
It's a split. Oh, I thought it'd just be easy.
Where are you sleeping tonight?
Oh, well, I don't want to sleep with Ethan, I can tell you that. His legs are too long and they flail about. I'm going to
Put
go...
the dog in your bed tonight.
No, you won't. No, you won't. I'm going to go with Amazing Grace. Again, it's the bagpipes that did it, but again, this is so close. I mean, it's by a nose, just by a nose. All right, our next bracket of the final four. Two great songs. One upbeat and joyous, All Fly Away. The other one very introspective, very somber, Because He Lives. You want me to vote first on this one?
Yeah.
I gotta go with Because He Lives. That's one that I have just loved forever. It's been one of my favorites, even when I wasn't really living as a Christian. So that's one that I stick to.
Dang it. I go with All Fly Away.
Ooh.
Again, I'll get betrayed.
Yes, you will, because he loves.
Ethan, you're losing this time.
I
right.
can't be mad. I like both the songs.
All right. So it comes down to the final two. Amazing Grace versus Because He Lives. But before we vote on that, we're going to each share, what was our regret? What was one that we thought should have gone farther? What was one that the other people messed up? That type of thing. So does anybody have a regret that a song that they wish if they had like a save they could pull back out? I think we know yours, Jeanette.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was
Well,
it again?
before we started talking, what was it? It was.
I Come to the Garden Alone.
Yeah.
But then I think
But
after we had
now it is well with my soul.
that was your regret. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Ethan, regrets for you?
These past two votes.
That's right. And no regrets up until then.
Yeah, everything was going perfectly fine, and then not anymore. But other than these past two songs, I think Battle Hymn of the Republic would have probably made it farther in just a bracket of mine.
Okay. All right. For myself, the one song that's just been a theme for me, it's something that I want to live every day, is I Love to Tell the Story. That's one I could easily see in the final four, maybe even the final two, although I'm not 100%. Yeah, probably the final two. So that's one I would have really, really liked to be here. But you can't argue with these two songs that we have. They're both amazing. What do we do? What do we do? This is what we knew was going to happen at some point in time.
This is
Amazing
where I
Grace.
say, I quit!
And Jeanette's leaving. I'm surprised we kept her here this far. Amazing Grace versus Because He Lives. Who wants to try?
Well, I know whatever I pick is obviously not going to be the winner.
Your mom and I just decided whatever he picks, go against. No.
That's what it feels like. Because He Lives.
Because He Lives for Ethan.
I'm going to go with Because He Lives.
Because He Lives for Jeanette. And I think I too am going to go with Because He Lives.
Because you don't want to be wrong in the finale.
No. It was that one, or I Love to Tell the Story, I think would have been my top two.
Oh, that's a tough one,
Amazing
though.
Grace would have been a close third.
See, have we not even had Amazing Grace in there because it's in a league? Well, actually, all three of mine are
Yeah.
a league of their own.
You can't do that. You got to include all of them.
superior
They
to
are.
everyone else.
They are. You're
Okay.
getting to know me.
So, folks, we've made it to the end of this bracket of our favorite hymns, and it came down to Amazing Grace versus Because He Lives, and Because He Lives was what we chose. I think we probably made some people upset with that.
A lot of people,
Probably a lot of people that are like, what? How could they? So that's all right. Go ahead and make those comments. Let us know what you think. And then talk to others. Tell your family, tell your children, tell your grandchildren what your favorite songs are and why they're your favorites. That is what brings meaning to songs, because songs are great when they're written and they have meaning and power from the author, but then it matters as to when you approach them and what's going on in your life. They get tied to that, and that's why they have meaning for us. So share with others your story, your favorite songs, and in doing so, you're going to share Jesus along the way in your faith, and I think that's what it's all about. So thank you for coming on this journey with us. Thank you to Ethan for doing all the technical side of things. Thank you for Jeanette for helping us argue and for doing this, because I know she doesn't really like being on camera. So this has been a fun time for us. We're looking forward to doing more things like this. As we mentioned, we're going to do one on newer Christian songs and contemporary Christian songs, but we're also thinking about doing one where we vote on our favorite books of the Bible. And we thought, oh man, that's going to be really tough. We're going to have to choose one book vote versus another. So I think that's where we're headed. We try to make ourselves as uncomfortable as we can, and so we hope that you'll come on that journey as well. Of course, it won't be called Music Madness. Maybe it'll be Bible Madness. I don't know. We'll come up with something.
That doesn't sound great.
It does sound a little weird, but we'll come up with something.
Something catchy.
Something
Bible
catchy.
magic.
Bible magic?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No, that's
good
not right either.
We have time.
Vote.
We have time to figure it out.
Vote.
Let us know.
Comment.
Tell us what it should be. Something about Bible books and which is our favorite. So thanks again for coming along on this Music Madness journey. Go listen to songs. Go listen to some hymns. Sing them loud and enjoy them. That's the best part about music. Thank you all. God bless.